What's going on, fight fans? It's your boy Ak.
And I'm Barack, the Boxing Bully.
And this is the DAZN Boxing Show. Thank you for joining us. I always say there's a lot to talk about, but there's literally so much to talk about. The takeover is back. The Adrian Broner problem has a big win after a long layoff. Potential fight of the year with Munguia, Derevyanchenko. Sonny Edwards gets the win. All of that right now on the opening bell. Barack, can we start it off and kick things off with what happened home here in New York City? He was going into this fight as the underdog and as Teofimo Lopez. Yes, I will say I picked him to win, and he actually almost stopped him late in that fight. I think that Teofimo showed people what I talked about leading up to this fight, his explosiveness, right? His power, just who he is all around as a fighter in this fight against Josh Taylor. Credit to Josh Taylor, he started off strong, but Teofimo was too much for him, Barack. I can't say I'm surprised because I knew this kid can perform like that.
This is exactly what we thought we would see if the old Teo showed up. And guess what? The old Teo showed up. And it's crazy how the takeover came and left in the same night, because at the end of the night, he's talking about retiring. But hopefully that's just, the issues that is on him. But if it's something that makes sense to him, fine. Retire and go live your life, man. You had a beautiful career and you're only 25. But listen, his explosiveness, his speed, his punch placement, his athleticism was just way too much. And I mean, because he had a bad fight with Sandor Martin, that's why I say Sandor Martin's gonna go on to make other people look bad as well. The guy is crafty, the guy is tricky. I don't give no other excuses but that. He was just good. There's no excuses I want to give Teo. That guy is just that good. But right, the old Teo showed up.
Yeah, and Barack, I mean, I think it's more frustration than anything. I mean, a lot of people have attacked Teofimo in the media. A lot of people have said negative things about his mental state. And he threw it out there. He said, I'm getting paid $1 million. They don't pay me enough. So I think that's frustration talk. I think there are a lot of other promoters out there that would probably find bigger fights with Teofimo where he would get paid more money. So I don't think the retirement talk is, long-term. I think that was frustration talking. I mean, I could be wrong, but I do see it, Teofimo Lopez being a part of some big fights down the line against a Devin Haney, against a Regis Prograis, who has said some things about Teofimo. So I like this win. And because Regis wanted to get back so bad at Josh Taylor, maybe that ship sailed after this loss. And I see Regis wanting Teofimo Lopez. So I think there are big fights ahead, but I was impressed with his performance totally. I saw it even early on as Josh Taylor had success. I saw him inching away, getting to those spots where he wanted to land those big shots, the left hooks. He started landing body shots. I saw it coming from the very beginning. So I'm happy for him, and I hope that it was just emotion talking, because a talent like that at that age, we still need in the boxing world.
It was like the fifth round and on. Teo just took over completely. He got super comfortable, was playing in there. I was even like, oh God, stop playing, because you're just leaving yourself open. But he was just like Roy Jones in there, where at times when he didn't want to get touched, he didn't get touched. And that's it. But the question is now, where does that put Teofimo on the pound for pound list? Do we put him back on there now? I don't know. I mean, I can say one thing, even if he does retire at 25, he beat the man at 135, the man that was on top of some people's pound for pound list, ESPN's that is, at that time. He beat that man, became lineal champion at lightweight, became lineal champion by beating the man. It just so happened he got stripped of those other 3 belts, but he could have had them all. He beat the lineal champion in 2 different divisions, and Richard Comey, another champion. Damn, that's a Hall of Fame career right there. 10 belts.
That's what I was going to say. Are we saying when he's 28 years old, he's over there in Canastota being inducted? I mean,
well, who knows, first ballot or not, but he deserves it. I mean, that's better accomplishment than people who are already in there.
All right, yeah, so like I said, I think it's all talk. All right,
Should he be back on the pound for pound list?
That's a good question. Look, we haven't created a pound for pound list in a while. Maybe we go back to the drawing board and revamp that thing. But let's not forget, Josh Taylor was technically undisputed. He didn't lose his titles, the ones that he vacated, in the ring. This guy's beat top level guys. I don't want people to keep talking about the Catterall fight because then you're taking away credit from Teofimo's win. He's beating 2 guys already that were on the pound for pound list. And that's in Lomachenko and Josh Taylor. So maybe he deserves that conversation to be back on that list. Let's talk about a fight that happened here on DAZN, Barack. Potential fight of the year already. No question about it. After 3 rounds, I already was screaming that out at the screen. Fight of the year, fight of the year. And that's Jaime Munguia versus Derevyanchenko.
The first round was epic. It was just ridiculous.
Epic.
They both got hurt in the first round.
And I like to be the first to say that I was wrong about Derevyanchenko, meaning I thought he was a shell of himself, and he proved me to be wrong. So Gary Starks, you were right. We ran into you in Detroit, and you had great things to say about his training camp, and he proved it in the ring. And credit to Munguia for withstanding some of those shots that he took from Derevyanchenko early on. It was an epic fight. Almost ended in stoppage. I picked Munguia to stop Derevyanchenko. So in that last round, I was screaming at the screen, come on, I want to get this prediction correctly. Hurt him with the body shot. For some reason, he was headhunting after that. Barack, I thought he'll go completely back to the body.
Absolutely.
He was hurt, and I think he would have probably finished him and got him out of there. But credit to Derevyanchenko after taking a shot like that, which reminded me of the Tank Davis Ryan Garcia shot. It was almost placed in the same spot with the same motion, and he got up from that and finished that fight. Such a humble guy, wasn't complaining, wasn't screaming robbery. I know some people were saying that. A lot of those rounds were close.
I don't know how you can say that was a robbery. That was literally a slugfest. It was such a close fight. It was no easy way to judge these rounds. You know, the only round that you can judge easily is that 12th round because it was a knockdown. Yeah. You know, like literally they both got hurt throughout that fight. They both was tagging each other up. And if it wasn't for that knockdown in the 12th round, the fight would have been a draw. It would have been a majority draw because 2 of the judges had it 114, 113. Yeah. You understand? So it would have been a majority draw, or Derevyanchenko could have even won, depending on if he won that particular round. Right. You know, so that was a close fight. I'm sick of this robbery word. I'm sick of it. And you know,
one thing that people are saying, Barack, is the way Munguia at times struggled with Derevyanchenko and the talks of him fighting Jermall Charlo, to think about how Charlo handled Derevyanchenko put things in perspective, even though styles make fights, right? Yeah. But you still have to consider that. And we want to see Munguia fight the Charlos. In fact, this it's safe to say that this would have been his toughest opponent on paper and in the ring, because Derevyanchenko proved that. So at this point, there's nowhere else to go but the Triple Gs of the world, the Jermall Charlos of the world, the Caleb Plants of the world, the Benavidez of the world. I'm talking about there's so many fights at 168 right now. There are no excuses. So we'll put the pressure on Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, and Munguia's team to see nothing but bigger fights, nothing less. But phenomenal fight. I wouldn't mind seeing that again.
Yeah, I mean, definitely styles make fights. So Munguia had trouble with Derevyanchenko. I think that was just the best Derevyanchenko I've seen in a while. You know, he was definitely in shape, prepared. He had a great chin, only got hurt to the body, really, you know, where it put him down. And I always thought that a Charlo style would be good against a Munguia, but at the end of the day, you also have to have a chin because he's going to get in there. And you also have to be able to get, you know, on your bike and be able to move for 12 rounds, unless you got enough pop to really just end it or keep him off you. You know, so no matter whoever fights Munguia, he's gonna make it tough for you for a certain amount of rounds, no matter what.
Absolutely, I'm glad you said that, because Derevyanchenko didn't have to move around at times throughout that fight, in and out. So unless you got that type of, you know, that type of courage, you're gonna have to move. So also Adrian Broner, the problem, you know, at one point, one of boxing's best, four division champion. He cruises to a 10-round victory against an opponent he's supposed to be. I like the opponents he's talking out there. He mentioned Rolly. There's talks of Ryan Garcia. He mentioned something about Golden Boy and Oscar De La Hoya. I won't repeat what he said about Oscar, but I like the fight with Ryan Garcia, and I like the Rolly fight. And I think 140 is obviously a better weight for Adrian Broner, who didn't really succeed much at 147, though at 130, 135 was phenomenal, even at 140. So I think there's a window for Adrian to come back and be a top level guy at 140. Now that he got shook the rust off Barack and is active in the ring, now we need to see him against the bigger names, whether it's Regis Prograis, Rolly Romero, Ryan Garcia. We need to see those big fights next for Adrian Broner.
Well, the question is, did he do enough shaking? Because you said he shook off the rust. Hutchinson, I don't know if that was enough shaking of the rust, because he totally dominated that guy. He played with him. He might have won one round the last round. I don't know. I can't remember what round it was. Might have. But no, that was a one-sided fight. Is that enough for Adrian to be out for over 2 years and then come back, fight just him, and then go into one of these bigger guys?
Yes,
maybe so.
I think so, because boxing is like riding a bike.
He looked good, but he looked good against Hutchinson, so I really don't know. Now, if we just talking about of what we know of him, yes, because under 144, he's a problem. Under 147 pounds, he's an incredible problem. He has a lot of power, and he still has speed. That's what he showed. Still has that fast twitch muscle. So one thing for sure, he has a big name no matter what. I bought the pay-per-view. I heard there was a lot of tickets sold, especially those expensive tickets. So any one of those guys would be a big fight, whether it's Romero or Ryan Garcia.
Look, Sonny Edwards gets the win over Andres Campos Barack, and the talks is bam. That's right. I mean, I could just say bam, and you already know who this guy is. Bam. I mean, it's a tough fight for anybody in his division. He's healing off of a broken jaw. Barack is Sonny Edwards.
We don't talk like that with Bam, bro. We can say Sonny Edwards is a tough fight for Bam, but we don't go Bam is a tough fight for Bam is the man, first of all. I'm going to let you know that right now.
Right.
Whether
True indeed, but is Sonny Edwards, is he ready for Bam Rodriguez?
And Bam might not be the long champion like Sonny Edwards, but he's proven himself in a higher division. He proved, and the eye test was already amazing the first time he fought, outside of his original division. So the kid is special.
Is Sonny Edwards ready for Bam Rodriguez?
See, ready is not the term I like to use.
I know.
Because I like to say, is he deserving? Is he deserving of it?
Absolutely.
100%. He's been a champ for a while. He got the IBF strap. The man got a heart.
Is he good enough to cause threat for Bam Rodriguez?
Of course. A guy that fights like Edwards is a threat to anybody. Right. You know what I mean? He's a threat to anybody because he's elusive. I know what I saw Saturday night. Sonny Edwards is even better than that.
Right.
Sonny Edwards is even better than that. And I think when he fights a guy like Bam, we're going to see a better Sonny Edwards, because we've seen a better one prior to this Saturday night fight. So is he ready for him? I know he definitely is deserving. And I know he can give anybody a problem. Anybody who boxes and moves that well and that slick can cause problems to anybody.
Nobody's complaining about the fights this weekend. We had a phenomenal weekend of fights, and I'm looking forward to what's to come for the rest of the year. That's our show for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace and love. Stay safe. We're out of here.
Introducing the new DAZN Boxing Show podcast. No matter the time or the place, getting your boxing content has become easier than ever. Tune in as we give you exclusive insights, predictions, fight night recaps, and more alongside the biggest names in the game. All for free. Available globally every Thursday across all audio streaming platforms, and with new episodes dropping weekly to give you the latest news. Just type in the DAZN Boxing Show podcast, listen in, and enjoy.